In 2012, VW launched the third generation Beetle, and I've always loved the convertible Beetle. I bought this one in 2016 and I love it. And this one, I think, had a little bit more of a throwback to the original Beetle with the old wheel arches here. You had the retro wheel caps, and the interior had a bit of a throwback to the original glove compartment, as you can see here. Oh, what's this? And of course the elastic band here for keeping your bottles of water, and more importantly, with the roof off, your sun cream. But the real star of the show is not this one. It's this 1972 Gemini Blue original Beetle. Hi Gary, welcome to Down at the Barns.
Hi.
Today we're here to look at this lovely Volkswagen Beetle, but your childhood goes right the way back of your love of cars. Explain that to me.
Well, I've just always liked cars. I mean, I don't know whether it was my granddad who used to sit us on his lap and we'd be driving along, you know, like doing the steering wheel.
Yeah.
But I've just always had a passion for cars. I just love them.
So you was originally from Barking.
That's correct.
And that area, Dagenham, Ford and all the rest of it. You've had your Fords.
I was very much a Ford man.
Yeah, but
definitely.
then it changed. So why is it VWs for you now?
I think the first time I got into a Volkswagen, because I'd always had Fords, a few Triumphs, I'd had a few Triumphs and whatever, Triumph Spitfires I used to really like. And then the first time I got into a Volkswagen, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe just how much better it was, how much better it felt, how much better it drove. It was like, I mean, they call them Dagenham dustbins, didn't they? It's a bit of a sort of thing with them. But I just couldn't believe the difference in a Volkswagen, the build quality and everything else. So even though this Beetle is a 72 Beetle, if you drive a 1972 Ford, it really feels like an older car.
Okay.
Whereas these don't. The engineering was just ahead of its time, I suppose,
Right,
really.
okay. And that brings us on to this one, this 1972. And how did you come about getting it?
I'm never looking for a car. I think they find me. I'm sure they hunt me out. And I'm a great one for small lads. I love looking through small lads.
Yeah.
I love looking through, Auto Trade or whatever. And this car came along and it was automatic. I just thought, wow, that's really unusual. I've never seen an automatic Beetle before. I knew quite a lot about Beetles. I'd been around the scene of Volkswagen for a while. And I thought, I've got to go and have a look at that. I made arrangements. We had to drive to Wimbledon. When we got there, the car wasn't there. The people were quite wealthy. They had quite a few cars on the front. They had another convertible Beetle, which they thought I'd come to look at. And I hadn't. I didn't want that one. It was a 1303, which is different. It has a round screen and a padded dash. It's quite different from this. And it was manual. And it was the automatic that sort of appealed to me. Anyway, we made arrangements to come back, which got cancelled. We made more arrangements, it got cancelled. And I gave up. I thought, I'm never going to see this car. Apparently it was down at their second home and they was going to bring it up and whatever. And then out of the blue, a couple of months later, I got a phone call from the owner saying, I've got the car, I can bring it up to you. I'm going to drive it up from Chichester, I think their second home was. I can drive it up to you. And I said, yeah, fine. So he drove it up, saw the car, test drove it, liked it. Obviously wasn't in the condition it's in now, but liked the car. And as luck would have it, it broke down, which really helped me in my negotiating skills for the price.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, so I got a good deal on it and I was really happy.
Yeah.
And Graham came home from work and there was yet another car on the driveway.
Fantastic, but he was
sort of getting used to because he never quite knew what he was going to come home and find on the drive.
Now, we said this, we touched on the fact this is unusual. Just talk us through this semi-automatic. What's that all about?
Okay, so it's a semi-automatic box in the car. So you have got gears, you've got... there's 4 gears. There's a low gear, which you would use if you were towing or going up a very steep hill.
Right.
And then you've got 1 and 2, which are the main ones that you use all the time. So 1, they call it sports mode in the brochure.
Yeah.
But not that you'd really,
Not in modern day terms.
Not in modern day terms, no. But it has got a little bit more go in 1. And in gear 1, you can go from 0 to 40 miles an hour.
Okay. Right.
And then you go into 2, which is cruising mode, but you can also pull away in 2 as well, but it's a slower pull away. And the car does it all for you, just like an automatic, but it's not your conventional automatic. Like, there is a gear stick.
Yeah.
There's no clutch, there's only the 2 pedals, brake and accelerator. And lots of people, they were quite rare. It was made for the American market.
Yeah.
and it's quite rare to get a UK right-hand drive automatic car, and most people converted them because they didn't like it. So it takes a bit of getting used to, and I don't think people like that. There's a little bit of hesitation between if you do change the gear, and the minute you touch that gear stick, it engages the clutch.
Right.
And so, you know, if you went along, if you knocked it with your leg, it would pop out of gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, people change them, but I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's a real unique.
It's something different,
thing.
isn't it?
And when we go out on our rallies or you're driving the car, you know, I mean, in Beetles generally second gear can be a bit of a lottery. You know, like you never quite get it. And yeah, I never have that problem. I can just
enjoy it. Yeah, that's great.
The one downfall I would say with the automatic, a lesson I learned when we took the car to Switzerland. I was driving up and down the Alps and thinking, oh, this is great because I've just got an automatic and I haven't got to worry about gears, and I'm looking at all the scenery, and it was an amazing thing. And I just kept braking, whereas I should have actually been using my gears to do some of the braking, and I overheated my brakes coming down a hill, which was rather scary.
Yeah.
But and we was waving at, we managed to stop the car using the handbrake, and we was waving at some of the other participants of the rally, and we're at the top of this hill and we're waving, and they're waving back at us. So they just thought we was waving at them. We was trying to get their attention.
Yeah,
so we've got a problem. So it was quite it turned out being a funny experience, and luckily once they called down, the brakes cooled down, that was okay.
It was all right. That's good. There's something else about this interior that's very unusual though, because it's a Jaguar interior you've got inside this, right?
Yes.
What's that about? Where'd you get it from?
Well, the Jag interior came about because I had another convertible Beetle, which I bought. I bought it to sort of sell it on, but ended up keeping it for a little while, but eventually sold it on. And that had a Jag interior in it from an XK8. And it was so comfortable because Beetle seats are a little bit slippy, they're a little bit, you know, they're not so supportive.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm actually, like, we was going off to Switzerland in this car, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to change the interior and put a Jag interior in it because it's so much more comfortable. So this is out of an XJS, this interior.
That's nice, isn't it?
And it's really nice. It's really comfy. The seats hug you.
Yeah.
They're a really good fit. Even the back seats are a really good fit into the car.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I like to do a bit of jiggery pokery with the seat bases to get them to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all electric, and they're great.
Zip forward and back and recline. It's all very nice, isn't it? It's very luxurious inside, which is brilliant. Gary, my convertible was incredibly quiet. All right. So how'd you find this engine? And don't say in the back. Please get involved. What do you think of the convertible Beetle? Do you have one? Please leave us a message in the comments below. Okay, Gary, let's have a look what you got in the back here.
Okay. So this is the engine.
Yep.
It's sort of factory standard. It has got a few mods, but it's more or less factory standard. I changed the dynamo to an alternator.
Yeah.
This is a racing distributor which got electronic ignition in it. The reason I put it on is I had it.
Okay.
No other reason really. I just had it and I thought I might as well use it. The same with the exhaust down here.
Yep.
This is a stainless steel system.
Yeah. Again,
I had it, which was from another car, and when the exhaust went on this, I changed over it. It was a little bit of jiggery pokery getting it on. My mechanic had to re-weld these uprisers to make it work.
Okay.
This is part of the automatic system.
Yep.
Here. This system here is what works the air, so it's all works from compression. Underneath the wings there's like a big balloon which sort of holds the air in it, which is what's changing the gear. And we've got a plug-in here. So years ago they could plug in what they'd actually find, because there's very little electrics. I mean, the cars of today are all electric, and you plug them in to find out. I don't know what that would tell you if you actually plugged it in. And the computer that you probably need to do it is probably bigger than the car.
Right, yeah.
But
hey, ahead of its time, mate.
Ahead of its time. So it's the start of plugging cars in to find out what was wrong with them.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't tell you what you'd find out by plugging that in. And the computer that you'd need probably no longer exists nowadays.
Yeah. Now, Gary, on my convertible, it's all electric, right? I can drive up to 30 miles an hour and take the roof out. This is a completely different story, isn't it? So tell us the different ways you can do this.
So this is a manual system.
Right.
There's two clips that you undo, and then you just lift the hood up and take it back. So it's quite quick. And that was the way I was folding it down for years.
Okay.
Right. And it's actually wrong.
Right.
Right. And the reason being is that the roof now is sitting too high when it's folded back.
Yeah.
On a 1302, which is different to a 1303, is you need to take this section here out.
Okay.
Right. So when you fold it down, you take that section out. It's a little bit more faff, but It then enables the roof to sit much, much lower. When you put your tonneau cover on, it fits, it's a much better fit, and you've also got a better view from your rear view mirror coming out the back. This windbreak also makes a massive difference.
Okay.
In any convertible,
Yeah.
I would stress anyone to get a windbreak.
Yeah.
Because it stops all that backdraft,
Yeah.
and it just makes the whole experience much nicer.
Brilliant. So now you know. So follow the instructions. Thinking, you know, what about if we do a bit of a swap up, you know, mine for yours, that type of thing?
I don't think so.
Ah, okay. Well, anyway, don't forget to join us next time down at the Barnes.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.
I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy stories about classic cars, check out these videos.